Dear students, today we will discuss the unit number 3 of class 11th, which is the classification of elements and periodicity in properties. Now, first of all, in our mind question comes why there is need to classify the elements. The need to classify elements is that at the beginning of 19th century, means around 1800, there are only 31 elements which have been discovered. But later on, in around 1865, we have discovered more elements and the elements become 63. So scientists thought that there should be need of classification of elements, otherwise it will become cumbersome to study the properties of each element individually and their chemical reactions. So the question comes to how we will classify the elements, and this need of classification of elements, it will lead to the formation of periodic table. Now question comes, what is the periodic table? Periodic table is the table in which we will classify the elements according to their properties. We can arrange them in a particular manner. So we will study the elements having the similar properties. They are repeated after a regular interval. So it becomes easy for us to study the elements in a systematic way through periodic table. Next, the topic which comes to our mind, how this periodic table the periodic table, as we have studied, it is the table which classifies the known elements in accordance with their properties. Properties include here both physical and chemical properties of the elements, such that the elements with similar properties, they are grouped together in same vertical column. That is the periodic table. Now we will have to study how does this periodic table development took place. Historical development, like in biology we study that how the evolution of human beings takes place. Human beings, we all know, have been evolved from some sort of elements. Similarly, the periodic table have how it is developed, we have to study in chemistry. In this, the first attempt to classify the elements was done by Daubernier, and these are known as Daubernier triads. Why they are called triads? Because he took the three elements and arranged them in accordance with such that the elements having almost similar atomic weight, or he found that the element which is in the middle, its atomic weight is the arithmetic mean of the other two elements. For example, iron, cobalt, nickel. Here we will see that iron, it is having the atomic weight of 55.83. Cobalt, it is approximately have atomic weight of 57.93, and nickel is having 57.8. So we will see here that atomic weights of iron, cobalt and nickel are approximately the same. The another thing he said that the atomic weight of the middle element may be the arithmetic mean of other two elements. For example, lithium, sodium, potassium. Here lithium is having the atomic weight of 7, sodium having 23 and potassium 39. So if we calculate here arithmetic mean of lithium and potassium, that is 7 plus 39 divided by 2. So it comes out to be 23, which is the atomic weight of sodium. Next example of Daubernier triad is chlorine, bromine and iodine. The atomic weight of chlorine is 35.5 bromine is 80 and iodine is 127. So we can calculate arithmetic mean of chlorine and iodine. That is sum of 35.5 plus 127 divided by 2. It comes out to be 81.25, which is approximately the same as that of the bromine. Next example that we took is the calcium, strontium and barium. Calcium atomic weight is 40, strontium is 87.5 and barium is 137. We can calculate the mean of calcium atomic weight and barium, that is 40 plus 137 divided by 2. It comes out to be 88.5, which is approximately the same as that of the strontium. Now there is limitation of Daubernier triad. The main limitation is that he is not able to classify all the elements which are known at that time into the triads. Like he has made only 4 triads of the elements, but the remaining elements he is not able to make them arrange into the triad form. So the concept given by Daubernier got failed. So next attempt to classify the elements was made by French geologist A.E.B. de Chancourt-Coix. Basically what he did, he arranged elements in order of their increasing atomic weight and arranged them in cylindrical form to display that the properties are recurring after a regular interval of the elements. Next made attempt was done by Newland's law of octaves. What he did, Newland's, he basically arranged the lighter elements, means the elements whose atomic weight is less, in order of increasing atomic weight. Then he found that the property of every 8th element is similar to the first one, like in musical sound. Note, we all know that in musical sound we have the rhymings sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, and after that again sa comes. That is the 8th element is repetition of the first. Similarly, he basically combined chemistry and music both together to arrange the elements. Like lithium is the first element which he had taken, then beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Here we can write like sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni in musical sound, and after that sa again comes. So similarly the 8th element which he have taken is the sodium, then magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, potassium and calcium. Now sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, then sa again we can write here re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. So we are seeing that the properties of lithium is similar to that of sodium, and that sodium is similar to that of potassium. So the elements which are arranged in one particular column, they have found to be similar properties. This is known as the periodicity, means the elements which are arranged in same vertical column, their properties are same. That is known as the periodicity, means periodicity word comes from this Newland law of octaves. Now main demerits or limitation what are of Newland's law of octaves. Demerits, main demerit is that it is not applicable to the heavier elements. We have seen that it is applicable only to the lighter elements. So first demerit is that it is not applicable to heavier elements means the elements having higher atomic weight. And the second limitation is that noble gas discovery. At the time when he arranged the elements in order of their increasing atomic weight, at that time the noble gases are not known. But as soon as the noble gas discovery takes place, like neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, so here like eighth element, here comes out to be neon, which is a noble gas. So न्यूलैंड्स लॉ ऑफ ऑक्टेव्स की बजाय ये क्या हो जाना चाहिए था, न्यूलैंड लॉ ऑफ नोनेन. मतलब हर एक नाइन्थ एलिमेंट की अब प्रॉपर्टी क्या करेगी, रिपीट करेगी, ना कि एट्थ एलिमेंट की. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा था, फर्स्ट के बाद एट्थ जो एलिमेंट था सोडियम, उसकी प्रॉपर्टी लिथियम के साथ मैच खा रही थी. मगर जैसे ही नोबल गैस की डिस्कवरी हुई, फ्लोरीन के बाद आता नियोन, तो ये एट्थ एलिमेंट नियोन बन गया और उसके बाद नाइन्थ एलिमेंट क्या बन गया, सोडियम. तो सोडियम की प्रॉपर्टी लिथियम के सेम हम जानते हैं, तो मतलब यहाँ पे क्या हो गया, ये न्यूलैंड लॉ ऑफ ऑक्टेव ना रह करके न्यूलैंड लॉ ऑफ नोनेन करना चाहिए था. तो ये क्या हो गया, यहाँ पे फेलियर हो गया इसका. Next, scientist which came to know how to we arrange the elements is the Lothar-Meyer arrangement. What he did, he draw the graph between atomic volume and atomic weight. Then the graph, he basically like lithium, here he have drawn one point, then here. So in this way, when he made join all these points, he will get the graph looking like in this manner, where there are peaks. On the peaks he found there the most strongly electropositive elements like lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, they are found to be occupied. These are the alkali metals. On the ascending part of the curve, the part of the curve which is rising, on it he found the electronegative elements like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. And on descending part of the curve which is moving downwards, he found on this curve the elements which are less electropositive than alkali metals, that is the alkaline earth metals, they are found like sodium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. Similarly, the other elements at that time they are known, they are found to be adjusted on the curve somewhere. So he basically drawn this and conclude the elements which are found at similar positions on the curve. They have similar properties. Like he said, on the descending part of the curve, the alkaline earth metals are lying magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and he said all of these are having the similar properties. But the main limitation which he has suffered is that on the descending part of the curve, not only the alkaline earth metals, there are some other elements are also there at the time which are present, and he found that these are also lying on the descending part of the curve. Now the question comes, how he will say that these elements are also on the descending part of the curve, which are he have arranged them here, and these alkaline earth metals also are on the descending part of the curve. अब वो ये तो नहीं कह सकता ना कि ये जो ऊपर आएगा वो उसको हम एक पहले रखेंगे, जो नीचे आएंगे उनको बाद में रखेंगे ऑन डिसेंडिंग पार्ट ऑफ द कर्व, सिमिलरली ऑन असेंडिंग पार्ट ऑफ द कर्व. तो यहाँ पे उसका जो है लोथर मेयर का अरेंजमेंट जो था वो फेलियर होता हुआ दिखाई दिया. अब वो गैप को हम मेजर को ना कर सकते हैं कि किसी में एलिमेंट्स में ज्यादा भी हो सकता है, किसी में कम भी हो सकता है, तो इसलिए ये डिस्कार्ड कर दिया गया लोथर मेयर का अरेंजमेंट. नेक्स्ट आया हमारे पास साइंटिस्ट वो थे डिमित्री मेंडली. इन्होंने मेंडली पीरियोडिक लॉ की एस्टेब्लिशमेंट करी. बेसिकली जो डिमित्री मेंडलीव थे वो कौन थे, हमारे रशियन साइंटिस्ट थे मॉस्को के अंदर. इन्होंने क्या किया, what he have done, basically he took 63 cards. At that time we have studied that 63 elements have been discovered. तो इन्होंने क्या किया, 63 कार्ड्स ले लिए प्लेइंग वाले और उसके ऊपर हर एक एलिमेंट्स का क्या लिखा, नाम लिखते चले गए। और एलिमेंट्स का नाम लिखने के बाद इन्होंने क्या किया, जो एलिमेंट सिमिलर प्रॉपर्टीज के थे लगभग उनको क्या कर लिया, अरेंज कर लिया एक वर्टिकल वॉल के अंदर। तो इन्होंने ये देखा कि जो ज्यादातर एलिमेंट्स है वो अपने आप क्या हो गए, ऑटोमेटिकली इंक्रीजिंग एटॉमिक वेट की टर्म्स में अरेंज होते चले गए, जिनकी प्रॉपर्टीज क्या थी, सिमिलर थी। तो इन्होंने उन कार्ड्स के ऊपर जो एलिमेंट्स थे उनके ऑक्साइड्स, हाइड्राइड्स जो सेम बना रहे थे सेम टाइप के, वो भी इन्होंने मेंशन कर रखे थे। तो इसी से इन्होंने क्या दिया, मेंडलीव पीरियोडिक लॉ। तो मेंडलीव पीरियोडिक लॉ ये कहता है कि when elements are arranged in order of their increasing atomic weight, then their physical and chemical properties are found to be repeated after regular interval. Means basically what he have said, we can write Mendeleev periodic law as the physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic weights. That is, when elements are arranged in order of their increasing atomic weight, then their properties are found to be repeated after regular interval. This is known as the periodicity, which we have seen also in Newland's law of octaves. Now we can write it as the physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic weight. Now we will see how he have arranged these elements in the form of periodic table. Students, we are discussing about Mendeleev periodic table now. What he have done, we have discussed, he have taken the 63 cards and arranged the elements on them. So on basis of that he have made the periodic table, which is known as Mendeleev periodic table. In this he have arranged all the known 63 elements. He basically arranged these elements into 7 periods, which are the horizontal rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and in 8 groups, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh and 8th. Now what he have done, in the group he have further divided the group into subgroups, which he have called them as A and B. Like in first group there are two subgroups A and B, in second also AB, third A and B, fourth A and B, fifth group it is having subgroup A and B, sixth having A and B, seventh is also having A and B. But the last point which we have to remember here is that the 8th group he have not further divided into subgroups A and B. This point have to be noted down. Now in the group and subgroup he have done the, basically we have seen that he have written down the oxides and hydrides formula on the cards which he have taken. So in the first group the elements which he have taken are forming the oxides having general formula R2O. In the second it is RO. In third group there are it is R2O3. In fourth RO2. In fifth R2O5. Sixth RO3. Seventh R2O7 and eighth he have taken the oxides having formula RO4. Similarly hydrides we see there. In first group the hydrides having formula RH are taken, then is the RH, then third RH2, fourth RH3, fifth RH3, sixth RH3, seventh RH2 and in eighth RH. Now we have discussed these are the subgroups A, B, A, B, but in eighth group there are no subgroups. Now in the group which he have taken elements, another point which we have to remember that the valency having the same elements he have taken, like lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. All of them having the valency of 1. They are having 1 electron in the outermost shell. So these lose 1 electron. So having the same valency elements he have taken in one group. Next point which we have discussed, the periodic property, the property which will repeat after regular interval of time. The periodic property is found to be directly proportional to atomic weight. Means we have arranged the elements on the order of atomic weight. Now another point which is of most importance is that he have left some gaps in his periodic table, which is very wonderful thing. Like here we are seeing that after aluminium, when he discovered the next element, he found the difference in the atomic weight is found to be large. So what he thinks that there should be some element in between them. So he left some space in his periodic table so that when that element will discover whenever in future, we are able to put that element in his periodic table. Like after aluminium he left some gap, and after silicon also he left some gap. Here after aluminium, when the element gallium is discovered, then he put gallium here, and when after discovery of germanium which is discovered, it is put after the silicon. So in this way these gaps are filled. Like aluminium, we see in modern periodic table there is gallium. So he already left the gap for the element gallium in his periodic table, which is a very smart thing which he have done. Now aluminium, the gallium word which we have discovered later on, and it is put, he called it as Ika aluminium Mendeleev. These gallium and germanium are discovered later on, but he have left these spaces, calling them as Ika aluminium and calling this space as Ika silicon. Ika is a English word which means next, मतलब जो एलिमेंट नेक्स्ट डिस्कवर होना था उसके लिए उसने क्या नाम दिया, एल्यूमिनियम के बाद इक्का एल्यूमिनियम, और सिलिकॉन के बाद जो एलिमेंट डिस्कवर होना था उसके लिए उसने नाम दिया इक्का सिलिकॉन। और बाद में ये जो नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट जो डिस्कवर हुए वो पाए गए गैलियम और जर्मेनियम, तो वो हमने यहाँ पे पुट अप कर दिए। अब इसकी हम करेंगे कुछ डिस्कशन, कुछ इसकी डीमेरिट्स या लिमिटेशंस कह सकते हैं हम, वो रह गई थी। ये इसकी कुछ सक्सेस थी जो इसने प्राप्त करी थी। अब इसके कुछ फेलियर्स हैं जो हम डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं। फर्स्ट फेलियर इसका ये था कि इसने जो था डिसिमिलर एलिमेंट्स को एक साथ रख दिया था। लाइक यहाँ पे अगर हम देखें तो लिथियम, सोडियम, पोटेशियम, रुबिडियम, सीजियम, फ्रेंशियम, all these are alkali metals. He placed along with these alkali metals in the same group he have placed copper, silver, gold, which are coinage metals. Coinage metals, students, we know in the earlier times we have the coins made up of copper, silver and gold. So these elements alkali having the properties different, and these coinage metals also have the properties different entirely from these alkali metals. But what he have done, he have put them in the same group. This is the failure. Another failure is that he have put separation he have not done of the similar elements like platinum and gold. They are found to be almost similar properties, but what he have done, he have separated these elements. Platinum in group 8 and in first group he have placed gold. So another failure. Third failure is that the isotopic position he has not able to explain. Like hydrogen, it is having the 3 isotopes: protium, deuterium and tritium. So according to Mendeleev, these isotopes, these are the elements having the different molecular or atomic mass. So he have arranged these elements in the order of increasing atomic weight. So according to him, these isotopes of the same element, they should be placed in different groups. But we will see in our further lectures, when modern periodic table discovered, it is found that all the isotopes, they have to be placed in similar group, because all these are the isotopes are elements of the same element. So but according to Mendeleev, these are placed in different groups. So this is the failure. Another failure is that he put some elements whose atomic weight is lighter, he have placed them later on, and whose having atomic weight higher, he have placed them firstly, like cobalt and nickel. We have seen in Doppernier triad, the cobalt, it is having the atomic weight slightly higher than that of the nickel. So according to him, the elements are placed in order of increasing atomic weight, but what he have done here is cobalt, which is having higher molecular weight, he have placed it earlier than that of the nickel. Students, this ends our the historical development of the periodic table. Now we will see how the modern periodic table looks like and what are the features in it. Thank you, students.